You wake up to the sound of the alarm on your iPhone, and annoyed that you couldn't get more sleep, you grudgingly unlock your phone to see what's going on in the world. And there's an email from Amazon telling you that your package has been delivered. So you force yourself out of bed to get the package, and it's some Johnson & Johnson medicine you ordered the night before. The wonders of overnight shipping, you think to yourself. You glance across the room to see the clock. It's 8 a.m. and you have to be at work by 9. Flustered, you open your Microsoft computer to answer some work emails before getting dressed. There's no time to cook breakfast, so you'll just grab something at McDonald's on your way to work. What if I told you that every single company you just interacted with within the first hour of your day is heavily influenced in large part by one company, BlackRock?
A warm greetings to everyone. Today we explore a topic that holds immense significance for the people of South Africa, the upcoming general election scheduled for May 29th. As citizens prepare to cast their votes, it's crucial for us to understand the dynamics and implications surrounding this democratic exercise. It's not just about the election, it's about questioning the very fabric of democracy itself. Before we continue, let's watch these clips.
We've kind of gotten used to BlackRock beating the numbers, beating expectations.
BlackRock is by far the largest, with roughly a 35% market share of domestic market.
Who is the most powerful man in the world? Some may say it is the President of the United States. Others may side with corporate America and deem the likes of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk to be more powerful. But there is someone else. It is likely you have never heard of BlackRock. In less than 30 years, this company has grown from nothing to becoming the world's largest asset manager. The assets in the roster exceed the value of $9 trillion, and their net worth is equal to half of America's GDP. Clearly, they do not need a name in the mainstream media to be successful, or, in fact, own and control the entire world. But who are they? What do they do? And how does this one company in America influence every industry and sector in the world?
The problem is that you've got a group of old men and women who are compromised from CODESA. We don't know what the Oppenheimer family discussed with them when they went into exile. They said to them, we're going to end apartheid, you're going to come back and rule South Africa, and it is going to be business as usual. Meaning you don't tamper with business. You can do those things of yours of politics. Where we are working, you won't do that. They agreed to it. We just know the issues that are above. We don't have the minute detail of what really transpired, because why would a person be scared to remove a statue of Kruger?
You really don't know? You were in the ANC, you really don't?
We raised it there.
Yeah. In the scenario where the ANC does come and say, let's talk after the elections, let's talk, we can do this, right? And their candidate remains Cyril Ramaphosa as the president, would that be a deal breaker for you?
Absolutely. Cyril, you know, you guys must get someone who, with courage, to just do a documentary about Cyril. Cyril didn't attend Mandela's inauguration because he was angry at Nelson for not putting him as a deputy president. Because the Oppenheimers have been touting him that he will be Mandela's deputy president. The Cyril has been self-seeking, and he has been saving the Oppenheimer and the Minel family and all of them with loyalty, not now, from the 70s. From the 70s, Cyril has been working with these people. Cyril went to establish a new NUM, a union of mine workers without being a mine worker. Cyril has never been a mine worker. Cyril has never been underground a mine. He went to school to do law. When he came back, he served as a legal officer in the Oppenheimer family. Then there was a commission of investigating black workers' conditions or something like that, which came with a recommendation that unions of black workers must be recognized. Upon realizing, the Oppenheimers, that now these people are going to be recognized, they're going to cause a problem, sponsored the formation of the NUM. For some reason, he found himself in the UDF, then in the reception committee of Nelson Mandela. So when Mandela walks out of Portsmouth prison, you must look at that video. You don't know whether Cyril is a bodyguard or what, but he's there giving the car direction. By the wall is the one who's holding the mic. This guy is infiltrating Nelson. When Nelson arrives, sleeps one night in Soweto, and then comes to Johannesburg. With which money? From where? And then he stays in the Minel's family house. Now, the Minel are one of the big mining families in South Africa. So when you say he stayed in Minel's family house, you're thinking, oh, maybe it's a complex. Same house. He meets Minel's children on the passage wearing gowns. Minel's child, when Mandela passed on, said, we used to see the names we see on TV at our house because these people used to come there and meet Nelson. He moves from Minel, he goes to Sexen Hotel. He moves from Sexen Hotel, he goes to Houghton. We who have been working, we have now been to prison. When we buy houses ourselves, we get questioned, how can Malema buy a house in Sandton? Mandela bought a house in Houghton. With which money? Why did Mandela get money to buy the house? This one, Cyril, was at the center of compromising Nelson. So if there is anything that white establishment and the Oppenheimers in particular have on us, is Cyril Ramaphosa.
So then, would Paul Mashatile be a better candidate for you?
Well, it's not a better candidate. It is
more acceptable?
No, it is the ANC to make that decision. But Cyril's relationship to what we have now as a country, as a problem, he's deep-rooted into it. The Oppenheimers are forming a political party every day in South Africa just to upset the system, because in their reading of situation, they like the EFF is going to emerge and pass the DA and merged with the ANC. They've got a majority. It's undesirable. They write there in their website that, no, this is not it's not a desirable situation. So what do? Let's fragment the black vote. What are the things that you look at in financing Rise Mzansi? Because that guy has got no history of mobilization of anything except being an editor of a newspaper. You give such a person 50 million and you say, no, it's donation. It's not donation. It's a formation of a political party. And then there is that lady who was a speaker here in Johannesburg.
Sarah.
Mutuno Anansanur is doing Sarah. We wake up in the morning, Sarah has got posters. Correct poster. It's very expensive. Where did she get the money? She was struggling here with us in Johannesburg. Then you've got Herman Mashab with no idea what he's doing. He gets given 15 million, every 20 million. All these monies of different political parties, including the DA, come from one family. And then this family just divided around their individual granddaughters, the daughters, and then they distribute it as if it's their individual money, but it's one family. Why? The Oppenheimers are the people who formed the political system in South Africa. Actually, the Oppenheimers were members of parliament when parliament started in South Africa. So this was designed by, all of this that we found was designed by them. Then they took a decision to get out and to do business. Now they feel they must still control a political space. At the center of that is Cyril. Whatever happens, Cyril must continue this. All the problems we had, Guptas and all of that, that's fine. Cyril wins to be a president of the ANC. Everybody who had a BEE deal, which has nothing to do with Zuma, has got nothing to do with Oppenheimers, on the basis of what you are bringing to the table, you have been accepted in whatever company you may think of. When this guy came, all those guys were dismissed. Were dismissed. Today is very difficult to find a black African millionaire, because if they had a stake in this coal company which was supplying Eskom with coal, they are taken out. Why? we don't need you, we've got the president. President is on a speed dial. And then you want to subject us to that another 5 years of that suffering. And I don't understand why these guys don't take him on the basis of facts. Because these people were there. They know the facts. Tara says we leave Teflop together. Lekota. We go to join Steve Biko in the fight for freedom. Me and this guy were together in everything we're doing. There was a law of common purpose. We are arrested under the law of common purpose. Alone, I'm found guilty, sent to Robben Island. And then this one goes home. And when he goes home, I discover he wrote a letter that I'm the one who instilled communist ideas in his head. Cyril's father was a policeman. And when Cyril was in solitary confinement, the father had access to him. And in solitary confinement, it's precisely exactly that. No one must visit you. So we isolate you to break you. And there's no way you are in solitary confinement, your father comes, he's a policeman, he says, tell them, my guy. You tell them we walk home. I'm here. And that's the only person you hear. You don't hear any other alternative perspective. With our eyes open, this is the guy you must go into a coalition and say, no, we can sign. The ANC will deal with it. I don't think it will be the right thing to do. We need to rescue South Africa from the Oppenheimers. All of this, at the center of it, is the Oppenheimers, and they have to be confronted about it because they will never allow the economy of this country to be in the hands of black people. I mean, we're told of Patrice Motsepe, he's a very good brother of mine, but I was asking someone the other day, Patrice Motsepe is produced millionaire, or billionaire, whatever. But I've been to many beautiful events where people are honored and all. I've never had a single black person say, I am what I am because of Patrice. He made me a millionaire. How can we make a billionaire, African black person who knows our suffering, and that person doesn't empower others? If he really has. I mean, Patrice has got a good heart. He's a good guy. He supports our sports and all of that. With that kind of heart, there's no way this guy will not have taken this money and given to some of you to get empowered. He can't. He doesn't have that kind of money. He's sitting there as a comprador bourgeoisie who managed the affairs of the ruling elite. And we are being fooled that, no, you've got your own, yeah, there's no problem. So the Oppenheimers do exactly that to us, co-opt some amongst us and then put them there to create an impression. No, you are here.
That's the power of big corporations. In the past few weeks, we have witnessed political parties launching their manifestos, and among them was Rise Mzansi. It has come to our attention that the newly registered political party, Rise Mzansi, received a significant financial boost from Rebecca Oppenheimer. Rebecca is the granddaughter of De Beers founder and former chair of Diamond Company, Harry Oppenheimer, an influential figure in South African politics. This substantial contribution has raised eyebrows and sparked discussion about financial backing and its implication. As we gear up for this election, it's impossible to ignore the elephant in the room, the influence of corporate giants. On May 29th, South Africans will head to the polls to participate in a process that shapes the future of their nation. This election isn't just a routine event. It's a pivotal moment where the voice of the people resonates, laying the foundation for the government that will guide the country in the coming 5 years. Democracy, a term we often hear and associate with the power of the people. But as we gear up for the upcoming election, it's important to pause and ponder. Is our democratic system truly reflective of the choices and desire of the people? At its core, democracy is about the rule of the people. It's about each citizen having a say in the decisions that shape the destiny of their nation. But here is the thing. When we mark our ballots, are we genuinely choosing the government we want? Or is there an underlying complexity that often goes unnoticed? Just imagine putting an X next to Rise Mzansi on the ballot. Will you be casting your vote for Songezo Zibi as your next president? Or will it be more like voting for a ghost government? The term ghost government often refers to a situation where powerful entities or interests wield substantial influence behind the scenes, potentially shaping government decisions without the direct accountability. Such concerns exist in various contexts, not limited to financial contribution. Let's again watch this clip to see the role of powerful entities such as BlackRock and explore how their sway extends far beyond the financial world into the political space.
BlackRock essentially owns 90% of the world's media. If you don't know about them, it's because they don't want you to. Why? Owning a portion of the world doesn't come without its share of scandal or conflict. In August 2020, BlackRock became the first foreign company to be allowed into China's mutual fund industry, which means they can now invest and own parts of Chinese companies, including ones that are blacklisted by the United States. One of the first investments made by BlackRock was in Hikvision, a security and communications firm that essentially makes facial recognition software for use by the Chinese government. But this money isn't just BlackRock's or Larry Fink's. It comes from pension funds and bank accounts of ordinary civilians who have unknowingly given money to BlackRock in the past. If we take into account BlackRock's ownership over Western media, banks, e-commerce stores, social media, food and beverages, and many, many more industries, it becomes evident that the company has a wealth of data on us, and they may do with it what they please. TikTok's data harvesting pales in comparison to what BlackRock is capable of, given how they have everything from our bank account numbers to our personal tastes and preferences. As BlackRock's investment in China grows, so will China's influence on the world, and our personal data, which was hanging on a thread to begin with, will quickly end up in the wrong hands. With the trajectory BlackRock has been on, it seems their influence will only grow as they acquire more and more of the world to control. If such is the case, we are headed into a dystopian world where corporations have more power than governments, and things like voting and freedom of speech have less power than investment boards. What is the escape from this reality?
There is an escape, and a good one. Watch part 2, where we show an escape route and answer the question, is participating in the voting system worth it? Democracy isn't flawless, but it provides a framework for peaceful transition of power, protection of rights, and collective decision-making. Active participation ensures that citizens have a say in shaping their society. Thank you for joining us on this insightful exploration. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more thought-provoking content. And hey, let's spread the awareness. Share this video with friends and family to spark conversations about the critical role corporate power plays in our democracy. Together, let's keep questioning, learning, and shaping a more informed electoral process. Until next time, take care.